to blend in with your surroundings? Well, this might be the perfect compact executive car for you. Hi guys, Eric here and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be having a look at this 2016 Audi A4 1.4 TFSI S-Tronic. This car had a big impact on me, but not for the reasons you might think. Congratulations to Avant Samdan for correctly identifying the wheel of this Land Rover Range Rover Sport, one of my personal favorite wheel designs. Would you like to be mentioned in my next video? All you have to do is to make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and tell me what car this wheel design belongs to using the comment section below. Be sure to identify both the make and model. Let's see who knows most about cars. A really big thank you to the accommodating, thoughtful and helpful staff here at ASJ Motors. They have a huge selection of quality used cars located in 2 locations in the Overberg region. One is in the industrial area of Hermanus, the other is located on the main road of Verliesdorp. They are open for business, so be sure to check out their catalogue, link in the description box below. The A4 is a D-segment sedan built by German manufacturer Audi. It has been in production since 1995. The first generation A4, known as the B5, was actually a successor to the Audi AT. It was made available in sedan form and later in Avant. Both petrol and diesel engines were available, and drive was sent either to the front wheels or to all 4 wheels via Audi's Quattro 4-wheel drive system. The second generation, aka the B6, was made available in the year 2000. This model was the first A4 to receive a continuous variable transmission. The previous generation had a conventional torque converter. It was also available as an estate and a cabriolet. There was a hot S4 model too, which was powered by a 4.2-litre V8. The A4 received a very commendable 4 out of 5 stars from Euro NCAP as well. The B7, Audi's 3rd generation A4, was unveiled in 2004. This model is perhaps best known for its rain sport version, the RS4. It used an asymmetric 4-wheel drive system along with advanced traction control. The RS4 had a 0 to 100 km an hour time of under 5 seconds. That is very impressive for its age. In 2008, the B8 was released. This model was bigger overall than its predecessor but was 10% lighter. It was also known for having pedals that were badly offset in right-hand drive models, which jeopardizes comfort. It had the biggest boot and most rear legroom in its segment though. This is the current generation B9 A4 released in 2016. It is powered by a rather small 1.4 turbocharged inline-4 engine, but it produces a surprisingly decent 110 kilowatt and 250 Newton meters of torque, enough to propel the A4 from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 8.8 seconds, yet return a respectable 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers. When it comes to its looks, I think it looks very modern and sleek, but it is a bit too close to bland for comfort. The front end looks low and aggressive, but its massive grille does make it look like a bit of a catfish. In profile, it looks quite long and big for a D-segment car. It doesn't look ungainly though, and it has a crisp look to it. The rear looks very wide thanks to thin, long rear light clusters. The small boot lip adds a sporty touch to it as well. All in all, I wouldn't call it exciting, but that is exactly what a lot of people want. Step inside the A4 and you're greeted with a rather cold but very well built cabin, like almost all other Audi interiors ever. Now while this might not possess the visual drama of the Mercedes C-Class of the time, it is definitely very well thought out. The ergonomics in here are excellent. Almost everything is found exactly where you would expect it to be, and those things that aren't are placed in such a way that it feels improved. The controls for the infotainment system is a prime example of this. It is placed in front of the gear lever, which might seem a bit odd, but it is perfect. The gear lever acts as a great resting place for your wrist while you use the rotary dial and shortcut buttons. It's really quite clever. Build quality is exceptional, truly great. Fit and finish is similarly excellent. The panel gaps are extremely small and they are consistent throughout the cabin. Use of materials is good too, if you ignore this terrible piece of plastic found on the dash, doors and center console. It feels a bit too cheap and it isn't aging nearly as well as actual metal. It's quite disappointing actually. The remainder of the cabin utilizes top-notch materials though. The switchgear in particular feels as though it will last a lifetime. Let's take a closer look though, starting with the door panel. Well, it's a very angular design, very similar to the rest of the interior and even exterior for that matter. In this dual tone color, it looks great, but in a solid black, it's a bit too plain. It is a very well made panel though. Soft touch plastics can be found almost everywhere, with a leather insert along with a metal door handle taking up the rest of the contact area. The switchgear feels really premium, the armrest is well padded and the door pockets are of a good size. That being said, this trim piece doesn't feel quite as expensive as it should. The doors carry an amazing amount of weight to them though and close with a very solid thud. The steering wheel is similarly upmarket and beautiful. It's very angular and futuristic. It's simplistic too. You get 2 rotary wheels and 2 buttons on it. That's it. Its rim is wrapped in soft leather and the buttons provide excellent feedback, but the vast majority of the trim on here is unpainted black plastic, which isn't great. The stalks feel excellent though, and they are extremely easy to understand. The cruise control is placed on a 3rd stalk, which might seem odd to some, but it is a much better solution than steering mounted buttons. What's more, the steering column has loads of adjustments in it, which really aids finding a comfortable driving position. Now for the instrument cluster. Well, this is the standard analog dial setup you get for the A4. That being said, instrument clusters from Audis are among my favorite in the entire motor industry. It looks sporty yet elegant, uncluttered yet packed with info, basic but intricate. You get a big analog rev counter and speedometer with digital water temperature and fuel gauge placed next to them respectively. The 2 main dials are even framed in a beautiful silver trim piece. In between the 2 dials, you will find a monocolor LCD drives information display. It communicates a comprehensive trip computer, a tire pressure monitor, outside temperature, audio information, Bluetooth information, and warning messages. It looks really good, that's for sure, but I would still opt for Audi's excellent virtual cockpit system. The infotainment system is a tablet-like screen placed on top of the dash right in the driver's eye line. Its screen is quite small by today's standards, but its graphics are very crisp. It isn't a touchscreen though, instead you use this rotary dial and shortcut buttons. Its menu structures also take some getting used to. You will get used to it as you own the car though. It comes well equipped too. SD card slot, auxiliary ports, Bluetooth audio and a CD player is all standard. No USB integration though, which is quite disappointing. The standard fit sound system is decent though and is fitting for a car of this ilk. The climate controls are stunning, truly beautiful. The design is quite different from conventional dials, but it is still very easy to understand. You get 3 knobs, one for temperature, one for fan speed, and one for air placement. The knobs feel great to use and it's very easy to understand. In fact, the climate control panel is the highlight of this cabin for me. When it comes to the seats, they are on the firm side, but they provide very good support. The color might have looked great when it was new, but it isn't aging as well as a black interior, which is quite disappointing. The driver's seat is adjustable for height though, so finding a comfortable driving position will definitely not be a problem for you in the A4. With the design out of the way, let's discuss the Audi's practicality, starting with storage solutions. Well, it does alright. The well-dampened glove box is of a good size. You get 2 wide and deep front cup holders, a tray-like area underneath the center armrest, and decently sized door pockets. You don't get any coin compartments though, nor do you get a sunglasses holder, which is a bit of a missed opportunity. You do get this small compartment, which is the perfect size for your key. Neat touches like that go a long way. Get in the back and things are looking up, at first glance at least. There's enough headroom for an average size male adult, and fit room is good too. Look at knee room though, it is excellent. The windows are nice and big, the window line is also low, and the rear bench offers excellent under thigh support. This is where the good points end though, because storage wise you get relatively small door pockets and these two extremely shallow trays that will just allow anything to slide out of them as soon as you accelerate. You don't get any rear seat pockets, you don't get any cup holders, you don't get any air vents, you don't even get your own center armrest. This is really rather disappointing, especially considering what Audi expects you to pay for this car. The boot tries to make up for it by being a very big size of 500 litres. You even get a space saver spare wheel as part of the package. However, you don't get a 12-volt socket, you don't get any grocery hooks, nor do you get any tethering hooks. To make matters worse, these seats can't fold down as standard. That is a cost option. That is really just ridiculous. Much cheaper cars offer this as standard. Why would you not want the rear bench to fold down? The load lip is rather low though, so that's good, but as you can tell, I'm really grasping at straws here. The Audi's interior is extremely well made, but standard specification is disappointingly low. Does the driving experience help to make up for this? Starting with driving around town, the A4 performs very well. All-round visibility is very good, the turning circle is tight for a front-wheel drive car, and the controls are nice and light. The gearbox is a real gem too, and the engine punches well above its weight. Parking is a little tricky though, because as standard you don't get a reversing camera, nor do you get rear parking sensors. The A4 is quite a long car too, so it does take some courage to do a proper parallel parking job. Out of the twisties, and the A4 performs alright. I wouldn't call it fun though. The steering might be direct, but it's a little bit too light and numb. It does feel incredibly stable though. Grip levels in here are very high. Out on the open road is where the Audi really impresses. Road noise and tire roar is surprisingly well muted, and the engine isn't audible at speed. It ticks over at a very low 1 3/4,000 RPM. The suspension is supple and comfortable, and the seats provide excellent support. This is a true motorway cruiser. I will do 1,000 kilometers in here easily. Well done, Audi. When it comes to reliability, the Audi performs okay. In a What Car Reliability survey, it scored 13th out of 18 cars, which doesn't exactly inspire much confidence. That being said, it seems as though petrol-engined A4s are slightly more reliable than its diesel counterparts. Moving to the A4's rivals, you have a host of capable cars to choose from. There is the BMW 3 Series, which is more fun to drive, but its interior design isn't as classy as the A4's. Then there is the Mercedes C-Class, which has a great looking interior and exterior, but it doesn't feel as solidly built as the Audi. There is also the Lexus IS. It has a sporty exterior and a beautifully built interior, but it isn't as engaging to drive as the A4. The Infiniti Q50 is another decent choice. It is much cheaper to purchase second-hand, and it is far better equipped than the Audi, but it isn't as well constructed as the A4. All of them are impressive machines though, so be sure to test drive all of them. If you've been with my channel for a while, you'd know that value for money is something that is very important to me. After reviewing the A4, I am not entirely convinced that it fits that criteria. It has excellent road manners and it's well built, but the specification is limited. Too limited, in my opinion. Also, the quality of the leather on the seats, along with some trim issues, leaves something to be desired. A bad car, the A4 definitely is not, but good value, it definitely is not either. Thank you so much for watching another one of my reviews. If you enjoyed it, please remember to leave it a thumbs up. It makes such a big difference to my channel. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe and you'll get notifications of upcoming reviews. I have a lot lined up for you guys, so stay tuned. If you own a B9A4 and you would like to share your experiences, please use the comment section below. I would love to hear your stories. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Until next time. Bye.